So picture this, you've just spent 51 grand on a luxury SUV. And you know what, you're feeling pretty good about life. And the neighbours are jealous. And Victoria Beckham would approve. But there's just one teeny tiny problem. You see, you could only drive it for 344 days of the year. Why, you ask? Because this particular masterpiece of British engineering spends 3 weeks in the repair shop. That's right, guys. You see, while your Range Rover Evoque is getting more spa treatments than a celebrity influencer, you're left wondering if maybe, just maybe, there was a better way to spend your hard-earned cash. Hi guys, my name is Des from the Electric Oracle. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at the Range Rover Evoque. It's a vehicle that's somehow managed to combine Victoria Beckham's design influence with the reliability of a chocolate teapot. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have some real fun with this video. So if you own one of these, you might wanna step behind the sofa for a few minutes. But before you hit that comment section and say, oh, Des, it can't be that bad, can it? Let me drop a bombshell. You see, according to Which's survey of 70,000 drivers, the hybrid version of this luxury SUV spends an average of 21 days per year in repairs. Do you know what? That's nearly a month of your life you'll never get back. So let's examine exactly what's going wrong here. And fair warning, this list of faults is longer than the queue at the dealer's service department. So first up, we've got the electrical system failures. That's affecting 19% of all Evoques. Because nothing says luxury quite like your 51,000 SUV deciding to randomly impersonate a Christmas tree with its warning lights. And you know what, guys? These aren't just minor glitches. Oh, no. We're talking about complete system meltdowns, random activation of safety systems, and screens that provide about as much entertainment as watching paint dry. And you know what? One owner even reported that their Evoque's electronics are going into what they called disco mode. You see, you've got all lights flashing, wipers dancing, and the horn joining in for good measure. It's kind of like the car is auditioning for Britain's Got Talent, except nobody's voting it through to the next round. Then there's the notorious fuel system issues. That's affecting 12% of vehicles. Seriously, we're talking about fuel leaks, injection system failures, fuel gauge readings that are about as reliable as the British weather. It's completely crazy because apparently keeping the fuel inside the car was considered an optional extra. But wait for it, it gets better. You see, the premature flywheel wear is so common that some owners are on a first name basis with their mechanics. You know, guys be walking in like, morning Dave, usual table. So what's the average cost here? It's a whopping £881.50 for transmission related repairs alone. And you know what? That's kind of like a month's worth of mortgage repayments for you and me. So let's talk about the Haldex unit, the brain behind the four-wheel drive system. At £675 per fix, it's failing so frequently that owners are starting their own support groups. Yeah. Hi, my name's John and my Evoque's, I don't know, been in the shop for about 3 weeks. The exhaust system? Well, check this out. It's got a 12% failure rate. The suspension, that's running at about 8% of owners reporting issues. And the body integrity, that's running at about 7% of people that are having problems with that. And the navigation system, well, that's 5% of owners reporting issues, but that might be a blessing. At least it can't reliably guide you to more repair shops. And one owner, let's call him James, summed it up perfectly. The most frustrating thing I have ever owned. And you know what? This is probably coming from somebody that owned a Sinclair C5 back in the day in the 80s. But here's the real kicker. 2/3 of these repairs take more than a week to fix. Guys, that's not just inconvenient. Suddenly your car's getting more annual leave than you do. And unlike your holiday photos, nobody wants to see pictures of their SUV on a garage lift. So Just think about it. A full EV drivetrain has roughly 20 moving parts. Their current hybrid, that's knocking on over 2,000 parts, plus all the complexity of managing two different power systems. And they're trying to perfect a transitional technology when they could leap straight to the simpler, more reliable solution. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that, surely other EVs have got similar problems, right? Oh, my sweet friend. Let me put this into perspective for you. You see, the Evoque ranks 72nd out of 75 cars in the 2023 Driver Power Survey. That's like finishing last in a race and then reversing back over the finish line just to make sure everyone saw how badly you did. And the brand itself, 29th out of 34 manufacturers. And you know what? Even British Rail performed better than the Evoque. So let's compare this to its competitors. The Honda CR-V Hybrid, 7 days average repair time per year. And the Toyota RAV4, 5 days. But guys, the Evoque, a whopping 21 days. That's 3 times longer than its closest rival. And you know what? At this point, it's less car, more extortionately expensive garage decor. I mean, do luxury car buyers actually care about reliability, or is status a more important box tick for them? Let me know in the comments below. So what about this customer satisfaction rating? A whopping 57%. Do you know what? I've seen higher approval ratings for Monday morning. And don't forget, this is British customers we're talking about. We're famous for the polite understatement. You see, when a British person says they're slightly disappointed, they usually mean they're absolutely mad. So let's look at some comparable luxury SUVs in the same price bracket. You got the BMW X3, that's got an 82% satisfaction rating. You got the Audi Q5, that's running at a 79% satisfaction rating. And you got the Mercedes GLC, that's running at 77% satisfaction rating. And then there's our friend, the Evoque, sitting at 57%, looking up at the competition like a pug trying to join a greyhound race. And do you know what? One owner described it as plagued by electrical and other issues. And another said, it's the most infuriating thing I have ever owned. And you know what? These are the reviews we can actually show you on YouTube without the age restriction on the video. So here's the most telling statistic. 49.63% chance of requiring major repairs within the first 10 years. I don't know about you, but those aren't the sort of odds that you want to put down 51k of smackers on, would you? You'd have better luck betting on a British summer. So guys, let's talk money, because this is where it really stings. And not just emotionally, but right in your bank account. So what's the average annual repair cost? That's running you at £1,102. But that's not including insurance at £2,631 per year. Regular maintenance, which is running at £1,701 annually. And depreciation at roughly 40% in 3 years. And don't forget therapy sessions. Explain to your partner why the car's in the shop again. You see, over the 10 years, you're looking at £17,015 in maintenance costs alone. So guys, for that money, you can buy a brand new MG4 EV, 17,015 cups of coffee to drink while you're waiting at the repair shop, a decent deposit on a house, though probably not in London. But here's the real financial Russian roulette. But here's the thing, by year 10, you have 49.63% chance of major repairs. Guys, that's worse odds than a coin flip. And this is one game where heads you lose, tails you lose even more. So question for you. Should car manufacturers be legally required to buy back vehicles that spend more than 30 days per year in repairs? Let me know in the comments below. So what about workshop time costs? That's 2/3 of repairs that take over a week. That means rental cars, taxi fares, or explain to your boss why you're joining meetings via Zoom from the dealership's waiting room. So guys, let's just be serious for a minute here. When we compare total ownership costs over 5 years with similar luxury SUVs, we're talking about the BMW X3 running at £32,450. The Audi Q5, that's going to set you back about £33,120. And the Evoque, £41,815. Now, if you haven't got your calculator, that's a £9 premium for the privilege of knowing your local mechanic's life story. And Range Rover's hybrid strategy has been likened to building a bridge halfway across a river. You're investing in infrastructure that will soon be obsolete while still dealing with all the maintenance issues of the old technology. But look, here's where things get really interesting. See, while Range Rover is struggling with hybrid complexity, the EV world is showing us a better way forward. Just think about it. An EV drivetrain has roughly 20 moving parts. Your typical hybrid, over 2,000 moving parts. Guys, let me do the math. It's 1,980 fewer things to go wrong. And even British engineering can't mess that up. So guys, let me ask you another question. Is rushing to convert iconic brands to EVs destroying their heritage, or is it the only way that we can actually save them? Let me know in the comments below. Just look at the successful EV transformations in the luxury market. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 actually proves what's possible with its 300-mile range, impressive 97% reliability rating. Tesla's Model 3 is pushing the boundaries even further, achieving 436 miles of range while maintaining a 92% reliability score. The BMW i4 demonstrates that Germans can master electronic engineering without losing their minds, while the MG4 shows that reliability and affordability can peacefully coexist. So look, converting to EV would bring transformative change to Range Rover's reliability issues. And look, gone would be the timing chain problems that plague the current models. Turbocharger failures, a thing of the past. Exhaust gas recirculation problems. What exhaust? And guys, those persistent fuel system issues, they do your head in. So let me tell you something called a charging cable. The numbers paint a compelling picture of EV advantages. You see, what happens is service costs drop by about 30% compared to ICE vehicles, and maintenance intervals stretch to every 2 years instead of annual visits. And zero emissions means the only thing that should be smoking is your wallet after the initial purchase. Do you know what? I'm going to be serious about it. Range Rover it has a brand. It really does. And you know what? They have the luxury know-how. They've got the luxury chops. They even have designers that can make, I don't know, a box look sexy. Now, imagine all of that combined with an 800-volt architecture for ultra-fast charging and dual motor setup for true off-road capability. You'd be rocking over-the-air updates that actually update and battery tech that doesn't require a PhD in electrical engineering to maintain. You see, the financial benefits for owners would be substantial. I reckon they'd save about £1,102 annually on repairs. And you can reclaim the 21 days previously lost to those workshop visits. You see, Range Rover stands at crossroads and the signposts couldn't be clearer. EV future this way or continued disappointment straight ahead. Imagine having a Range Rover Evoque pure EV. So what you've got all the luxury of the brand, the reliability of German engineering, and you've got the efficiency of Japanese engineering. And yes, still enough ground clearance to mount curbs outside Harrods. You see, the solution isn't just switching to electric. It's about completely reimagining what a luxury SUV can be. No more 21 days at the shop. No more 17 grand's worth of maintenance bills. And no more apologizing to your friends for cancelling dinner because your car's feeling a little under the weather. And you know what? If you look back in history, Range Rover has actually overcome these challenges before. If you can remember going back this far, they survived British Leyland, They also made it through the fuel crisis, and they even survived being owned by BMW. Guys, surely they can handle a few batteries. But you know what? That's just my analysis. What do you think? Should Range Rover just scrap everything and start afresh with EVs? Or should they keep trying to perfect the hybrid system? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you're a Range Rover owner. You can come back out of the sofa. If you're a Range Rover owner, let me know in the comments below. And do you know what? Speaking of troubled vehicles, in our next deep dive, we're looking at Tesla's Cybertruck, which won't be joining Range Rover in the British repair shop anytime soon. From lighting regulations to weight limits, we're breaking down 5 key safety issues keeping this angular beast off UK roads. So click the video on the screen now to find out why this American electric tank might be too spicy for British taste. And look guys, if you enjoyed this electric roast of Range Rover, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell. We've got more EV insights coming faster than a Range Rover depreciation curve. Guys, until next time, keep charging forward.